Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you Sunday, January the 15th. The year is 2023. Let's talk trading, weekly, open, and gap. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. So if we look at the weekly open gap, we can see that all the open gaps filled. The pound, and just about everybody gapped down with the exception of the euro pound, and they've all filled. In fact, I had the charts up, but I usually don't trade on Sunday, but price hit the launch pad at 40, ran all the way up to 88. And if we look at our monthly chart, you can see we're still in the upper wick zone of the previous month. And we're 38 pips off the monthly high, 410 off the low, and 161 above the monthly open. We're 41 above the weekly open, 38 off the high, 43 off the close. And we're putting in the opening range for the week. Right now we've got about, 82 pips of range, which is a bit much for this time of day. We're about almost 8.5 hours into the trading day. And the one thing to be aware of is tomorrow, Monday, is MLK Day, Martin Luther King Day, bank holiday in the US of A. So maybe some of the banks around the world might have some fun at the dollar's expense and run things up. We're 161 pips over the yearly/monthly open, since this is still January. Notice we're 409 pips off that yearly low, now 410. And we had an inside bar 4 days ago. We're above that inside bar high, and we're still way above the inside bar from 3 weeks ago. And let's see, we do have some inside bar action on the daily, some on the weekly, and we've got a fair amount here on the monthly. $82 pips of range, only one pair over 100 pips, and that is the Swiss yen. And the dollar yen looks like it's just taking a beating down to 127. Oh, I heard from Walmart today he had some stressful occurrences. That's all I can say. But he's okay. He said he probably won't be trading tomorrow because of the holiday. So maybe we'll get to hear from him later in the week. Buy zone, you can see once again gap down, but due to the probably due to the opening bid and ask, the spread was probably way too high to capture most of that. You might have been able to enter somewhere around the open in the third hour. Definitely enough room for the rats. So you can see the rat zone here, anything above 2268 would have produced a nice profit. And we're falling back down into the launch pad. Notice how price came up through the launch pad, came up into the 60 area, pulled back down, and then took off again. Okay, Bambino Flex indicator indicated to trade long near the pivot. Bias is short. So let's take a quick look here. We haven't hit the weekly pivot yet. We've taken out the monthly already, and we actually hit the daily pivot. But and remember, Bambino Flex said long, pivot trading plan though said short near the pivot. And it looks like the Bambino Flex indicator won out. Back into the upper wick zone of the previous trading session or previous trading day, which was Friday. So you can see we're right back into the wick zone. And we'll just have to wait and see what price does. 82 pips. So far, that's about half of what we did, a little less than half of what we did last week in weekly range. And we covered the rest of these on Friday. And looking at the Walmart lines, we can switch over to the 1 hour chart. If you like to trade the 1 hour candle color, you can see here the cross at 60 would have paid off. Notice we did have a couple of big moves here, but then back down into the normal hourly range for this time of day on a Sunday here in the US of A. Okay, we have a lower high in the 48. This is still right here in the launch pad, as I like to call it. Hit a higher low trigger here at 22.61. That would have paid off nicely. So we'll have to wait and see if this pays off or not. It's moving down. Wow, that was a big move down in a short amount of time. Big move. It's only a few pips, but as you can see, it's going right through the launch pad. Normally, I don't like to short the launch pad, especially if the daily open is below the launch pad. I just don't like shorting it. I miss out on some trades, but that's okay. And one other thing about the launch pad, I don't like buying or selling at 45 right in the middle, because it seems like you can get hung up there and it just won't give you won't even give you a pip of exit. It just seems to just somehow just likes to wander around there for what seems an eternity, even though it's not. It'll probably only take about 15-20 minutes to work its way out, but it just seems like it's a long time. So we've got a new trigger at 45. And notice, depending on the broker you use, you can see here the size of the spread. This is one reason not to trade on a Sunday. At least not with that broker. So range by month 448. So we still have room to move. And let's see, is there anything on the weekly that inside the upper wick zone? Fade the pivot, sell, because the weekly pivot is down here somewhere, if I remember correctly. Where is that weekly pivot? It's like 2184. Yeah, 2184. So if it breaks the weekly open at 2209, look for price to hit that pivot. So let me know if I think there's a couple more things I need to go over TRO-HL5. Let me know if you have any more questions on that indicator or any other indicator for that matter. But even though we were kind of focusing on TRO-HL5, especially for the new folks. Oh, and if you're wondering how to get it, it's in the MT4 motherload over on Crestlick.com. You can download it there. And I think I might have even given it its own thread because I was doing so much work to it. And there's still a few more tricks I can add to it. But I've been coding a few things, but I've been working on some other stuff that has nothing to do with trading. So I haven't been in programming mode as much as I have been in the past. I was Crestlick. I think we finally got that site back up. It's just running out of space, and so the servers were all tied up. But I was reading some of the older threads, and it's funny when you read somebody that quotes something that you said. It's kind of humbling in a way, and it's kind of an honor. You know, when people think highly of your work like that, or that they adapt and adopt some of the things that you do. So I just want to say thank you. I do appreciate it. It's always nice to read kind words out there because the internet can be pretty nasty, as some of you may know. Oh, and if you have any topics that you want me and or Walmall to cover, let me know. We can put it out there. Don't be shy. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I wanted to cover and kind of the catch-all? I don't really think that there is, except there was one trader. He hasn't posted in years. In fact, I sent an email address to him, and it bounced back saying the email inbox was full. So I just hope nothing bad happened to him. It's kind of hard when you only know people on the internet and via email, and you don't have a phone number, so you just don't know how to get in touch to find out if they're okay or not. I met some, made some good friends off of YouTube and Facebook, and we share phone numbers. And that's why a lot of times I'll give traders my phone number, especially if they're US based. If they want to figure out, if they're having troubles or they want to ask some questions, sometimes it's just easier to talk on the phone than it is, answering via text or email. Sometimes it's better to answer via email because then you can write things out and hopefully convey the message clearer than just talking, because then you can include charts and annotate charts and things like that. So I hope everybody's had a fun and safe weekend. I hope 2023 is profitable for you so far. If not, I hope maybe you can turn it around this week. Oh, and somebody said something kind of interesting, because I like to say all you need to trade is a horizontal line. And they said, but trading is more than just horizontal lines. And they're right. It's kind of like chess. You can learn the moves in an afternoon. It'll take you a lifetime to master the game, though. Trading's pretty much the same way. So, fellow traders, always remember, never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.